Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I really need to tell you this story. My brother, friend, cousin, he's really my brother, Marlon Smith, is really well traveled, and he worked in South Africa during the time of Truth and Reconciliation. He was a part of that work. He also worked with the HIV/AIDS crisis there, and he's done just tremendous work. But his work with Truth and Reconciliation was amazing. So when he said that he was taking his family to South Africa, and he said, "Sis, do you want to go?" I was like, "Stop playing. We're already there." So we toured Robben's Island, where President Mandela had been held captive for 27 years. And the tour guide was actually someone who had been a guard there at the time. And the stories that he told were just illuminating and eye-opening, and shed a light on the power of truth and walking in that truth. And we got to go on hikes, Victoria Falls, all the things that tourists do. We went on safari. We stayed in amazing places, but we also went to the townships and the places where the people lived, the people who had suffered under apartheid. And one township, and I mean, these are like lean-tos and just what have you, there was a family, and there were like 3 little girls in this family. I want to say it was 3 or 4 little girls. And the father made amazing art from trash. He would take old aluminum cans and make roses and make these intricate, statuettes and all kinds of things. So, of course, he made some for us, and, we gave them, just a gift of our appreciation. But then I said, let's go to the township and try to find some dolls for the girls. Let's go to town. And so we went to, the mall where people were shopping, and we were looking all over the place for black dolls. And I was like, "Do you have any black dolls?" And they were like, "Black dolls, black dolls. We had a black doll in 84. No, we don't have black dolls." And remember, this is right at the dismantling of apartheid. And so they didn't have what we were looking for. Finally, we go all over the place, and we find some. And so I'm like, I am not leaving one of these dolls here. So we buy all of them they have, which could not have been more than maybe 10 or so. And we buy some little trucks and some little cars and some little animated things and some books. And we take them back to this family. And the kids were staring at us like, "What is this?" And so we said, "We brought you some things." And so they said, "It's too much. It's too much. Can we invite our friends to come and get a gift?" We're like, "Yeah, well, each of you can have a doll, and you can all have a car, and you can all have a book." And they said, "We don't need that much, Mrs. We don't need that." So they go and they get their friends. And, the townships are the townships. And, it kind of reminded me of like project living when I was a little girl and lived in the projects. And, like you call one family and all of them come. And because everybody was related in my family. Anyway, so all these kids are coming, and I'm handing out what I have. They're, "Thank you, Mrs. Thank you, Mrs." It was like music all around us. And little hands just, "Thank you, Mrs. Thank you, Mrs." And there's some adults that are there to help supervise everything. And we give out everything, and I look down in my bag, and I look up, and the line is just going on and on. And tears just start coming down my face. And I said, "I'm so sorry." And they said, "Why are you crying, Mrs.?" And I said, "I don't have any more. I don't have enough." And one of these little kids with the biggest, prettiest smile came in the front and said, "No, Mrs. We are not here for a toy. We are here to thank you for the toys you brought. Because when my friend has a toy, I have a toy." Well, I cried some more. Because in the midst of that poverty, they knew the truth. That if one of us is okay, we're all going to be okay. If there was anything that I could have bottled up and brought back to the United States, It was that sense of Ubuntu, that I am because we are. With all the illusion of freedom and spending and keeping up with the Joneses that we have, we don't have this thing. So when my neighbor asked me if I was licensed to do weddings in Georgia, and I said, in every state in these United States, and any place there are some Anglicans. and she was like, oh, yay. And, well, maybe not any place. Anyway, any place in the United States. Anyway, she said, well, her bonus son was getting married in her backyard. And she said she thinks they have somebody, but just in case. I said, well, let me look at the calendar. I'm here just in case. And I said, and I want you to know that if they want to come over and take pictures under that gigantic oak with that view, tell them to just walk on over and take pictures. And then she said, oh, well, my other bonus son is going to be here, and he's going to spray the yard for gnats and things, and I'll have him spray your yard too. And I was like, oh, thank you. And if there's anything else that you need, let me know. That was simple. It was simple. That spirit of Ubuntu, that I am because we are. When my neighbor does well, I do well. And I told her, let them know that their love is going to bless our entire neighborhood. Those kids taught me so much, because I knew my kids were probably at home arguing over who had the most cereal in the bowl. They were not there to fight over the last toy. They were there to rejoice the fact that there were toys at all. I love you, and I know we're going to get there.